Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Libra. Libra, I've done your reading as usual with my own deck, so the cards you'll see are from this deck. Libra, I have been staring at your cards for quite some time since I pulled them because actually I pulled them last night, and the image that I was seeing was so tricky, so mysterious, and it almost felt like this what is it called, like there, like almost like there's a catch, underneath the message, or uh it's just like I had to go deeper and deeper into whatever the message is, and I feel like I am starting to understand, or at least I'm starting to see what it is. So we begin with the devil. This devil came with this message of being sneaky, of playing a trick, or at least saying something more than what's on the surface, right? And so as soon as it came through opening up your reading, Libra, it just like it instigated in me this question: where is the catch, right? Where is this where is this going? What do you want to tell me, devil? What is the message here? What am I not seeing that you're trying to point me, right? And so whatever it is, I feel like there's something that is sneaking behind you. It's like whatever you're doing, whatever comfortable life you have, whatever energetic state you are at right now, uh, and it feels like you are very balanced, but there is something that either you're avoiding or you are simply not seeing because it is tricky, because it requires this shift in perspective. So after the devil, you come along, right? So here it is, right? This, and it's, I was going to say a conversation between you being this King of Wands and the devil, but really it's not a conversation. It's like staring at something or someone, a situation, or an energy, or I don't know exactly what it is, because it feels very tricky, right? It feels very elusive. It feels very, very mysterious, and I don't know if this is the word, but ungraspable. It's like it's always escaping, right? It's always like just slipping through your fingers, right? Whenever you feel like you know who is this character, or what is this character, right? Or what is the message that this devil is trying to show you, like, and this is the dialogue here, or at least this is the staring that is going on, right? You very efficiently, it's the word that is coming through, you very efficiently and very consciously staring at it, not afraid of staring into the devil's eyes, in a sense. And that's not literal, right? That is just a metaphor. But you looking at your fears, you very aware of your fears, but there is something that still you're missing. And I feel like somehow, because after the King of Wands, we have the Six of Cups, and these two cards were very prominent in yesterday's reading for Virgo. So it's interesting because here they're coming through with a very different message. So first of all, I feel like you are very aware of whatever this devil represents for you, right? And it's like you're on top of things, right? You are ready. You are not afraid of confronting this, because so the first message that came through with the Six of Cups was one of complete emotional balance, right? It's like you are energized because your emotions are really harmonious, are really balanced. But that's the thing with this devil, right? Here's the catch. Here's the trick that they are, in a sense, they are trying to point you that even though you are very energized, even though you are emotionally balanced, there is something hidden in this apparently perfect state of being, right? And so the second message that came through with this Six of Cups, especially because of the next card that I'll show you in a minute, but it was something like a bottleneck. Like, it felt like something that was actually, just stuck in your throat, right? Something that, it's like, what I was seeing was like your emotions, and this could be like something like this apparent balance, this apparent emotional balance that you're sensing is perhaps masking something that within you is not, it's not flowing properly, because it's like I'm seeing these emotions that are, coming from, your lower chakras and upwards. It's like they get stuck in your neck, in your throat. So there's something about like your emotions that you're not expressing. And I feel like it begins with you realizing this. And this is like this uncomfortable presence of this devil, but very necessary presence, because even though you're not afraid of confronting it, whatever it is for you, it's like they're showing you where this trick is, right? Within you. And I feel like it's within your body, especially within your emotional body, because we have a lot of cups energies here in your reading, Libra. And it's interesting, talking about emotions, following this Six of Cups, we have the Moon card. And so because this moon, usually connects us all, right, with our emotions, and we are, in a week of the full moon in Cancer, where, the moon is at home, right, because the moon rules Cancer. So it's interesting how for you, Libra, perhaps, and you are an air sign, right, so all of these emotions are, it feels like they're trapped. It's like, it feels like you cannot communicate your emotions properly, although, you feel like you're on top of them. Like, you feel like you have them under control, right? You have them under control. It's almost like, it's interesting because it's this relationship between your emotions from the devil's point of view and from the moon's point of view, which, it's very intuitive, is very connected, is very, it's like this spontaneous letting go, letting flow, right? And here is, and it's interesting, right? Because, if we think of the correspondence of these two major arcana to the zodiac signs in astrology, the moon usually symbolizes Cancer, whereas the devil symbolizes Capricorn, and these two are opposite signs, right? So it's like this other perspective, right? This complementary perspective, that this is what I'm saying from the devil's perspective. It's like it's not a negative perspective, right? It's not a judgment of value here, whether it's positive or negative. It's like, it's just another perspective, right? And so here, sorry about the noise. Sorry. Okay, coming back. So this bottleneck that I was seeing, right? It's almost like this, it's like, this is the interesting thing. So as I was staring at your cards, just as you are staring into the eyes of this devil, right? Having another perspective to your emotions, to this intuitive side, to this perhaps more emotionally unstable and trying to balance it out, but not realizing how you're bottling up, right? Emotionally, how you're not communicating properly, or you can find exactly how to communicate what you're feeling, right? And so what I was seeing with this moon today, for you, it's an image that never came through, and I was just like, is it really what I'm seeing? And this is, you know, this is the blessing in disguise from this devil, right? To allow you to see things from another perspective. And so what I was seeing, I hope that I can describe it to you, but it's an image that I saw once in Rome, in a cathedral, where the dome, it's like this, there's this opening, this circle right on top of the dome. It's like it's the Pantheon, I think. I hope I'm saying the name properly, but, and from one perspective, right, during daytime, it's like we could see the shape of a moon, right? It was just so gorgeous. It's so beautiful. And this is what I'm seeing, you know, the shape of the moon in reality, it's like because of whatever is feeling this wide space here, right? So it's almost like this is the void, right? This is this, it's like this empty space, right? This black part. And in reality, whatever is around it is what, it's like this negative space, if you know what I mean. So this is like the new perspective that this devil is giving you from the moon, right? And today it came through like this really heavy lit, I hope I'm saying this properly, but it's like this, like the top of something, right? This rounded top, right? That is almost unrecognizable, because, you know, what we're seeing, it's actually the empty space, because whatever is here, like this lit, right, is being removed, right, in order for you to start seeing what's on the other side, which is this moon. And so it's this bottle lit that is being removed, right, in order for you to just let these emotions come through. So it's almost like there's this it's like this limit, right? This point at which you allow yourself to go with your emotions, but after that you don't allow yourself to really express your emotions, you see? So this is this bottleneck, right? And so by letting this moon, right, be opened in a sense, letting your emotions flow naturally, these energies come along. So we have the Five of Cups, the Seven of Cups, and the King of Swords. So what I was talking about, this change in perspective, right? Because this is you, right? The King of Wands and the King of Swords. Interestingly enough, this is the only air card here, which is you, right? Coming right at the end of the reading. And because it's like, because of whatever this devil represent for you, it's like you get it, you see the trick, you see where the catch is, right? From this new perspective of the moon, of your emotions. and you're allowing these emotions to flow, because it's like at last you let this air come through all of this water. So what I was seeing with all of these images, right, especially because of, you know, this was so far, this is the limit. This is the point where you were allowing your emotions to flow, right? And it felt like it came so far, like to your neck, right? Like there was this bottle lid. I hope I'm saying this word correctly. But you know what I mean, right? So we have this 5 of Cups, right? Which is coming after the moon. And it's interesting because another thing that came through the moon was like, even though you are feeling balanced, even though you are feeling on top of things, like you have your emotions under control, right? There's something that happens at night because this lit is being uncovered, right? And giving way to this empty space, to this unknown in a sense, right? To these emotions that perhaps are unknown to you, or perhaps they are so, it's like they are not controlled, right? Something happens in the middle of the night that triggers this. It's like this, the word that is coming through is decay. It's like your emotions are, it's not whatever gave you the feeling that you had harmony and peace and balance, right, under control, because you were on top of things. At night something happens that multiplies this feeling of not being in control, right? Perhaps being controlled by this pattern of behavior, this pattern of thought, this pattern of this unhealthy thing, right? Or some sort of just this trick, right? I don't know how to express it. It's like it's something that is beyond your control, right? And so what I'm seeing with these 2 cards, it's like it makes you feel like you lose control. It's like it's something that it depletes you, right? It makes you, well, I was going to say sad, but in reality, the word that is coming through is it makes you angry. Because what I'm seeing with the 7 of Cups following, you know, we have the 5 and the 7, and we saw the 6 first, right? Which is exactly the middle point. So I feel like this is when you're awake, right? When you're staring this devil in the eyes, it's like this is the moment where you feel like you have your emotions under control. But in reality, when the night comes and your subconscious mind step in, right, and this lid is opened, it's like you lose control, right? You lose this balance, and whatever is buried underneath, right? And underneath a lot of water, right? Which is not your natural habitat. This is what I'm saying. And it's interesting because whatever it is that you lose control of, it multiplies very fast, right? It's almost like I'm seeing these cells multiplying, and it's beautiful because, you know, remember the image of this bottleneck, right? And I saw it's like this, the level of the water comes high enough that you want to just close it off and limit, and you know, you don't want to let it flow, right? Or you don't know how to let it flow, right? But there is something beyond your control that is opening up this lid, that it's making these emotions flow whether you want it or not, whether you're aware of not, because I feel like there is this duality too happening here. Like like you are very aware already, right? You feel very energized. It's like you feel in control of things, right? It's like you can deal with the devil, right? But still there are things that are that they're just, laying underneath. It's like this go deeper, right? It's like this catch that this devil is trying to point. And what I'm seeing, ending the reading with the King of Swords, finally the air element. So this is where this whole picture comes together, and it's beautiful because it was very encrypted for me to, as a reader, right? Because of this devil, it's almost like you cannot stay on the surface with this one. You have to go deeper. And this is where it all fits in for me, reading this whole context. So this air element, what I was seeing, these dots on top of the crown, these are these bubbles of air, right? Because this is what I'm seeing here. It's almost like this top view from the crown, right? The Seven of Cups, these cups around are these dots. And these dots today are representing these bubbles of air, right? Which is like this attempt to breathe underwater. And it's beautiful because it's reminding me of an email from a new subscriber that I received, talking about how the readings gave them this image of breathing underwater, which is something that I can relate to because I have experienced it last year, 2021. With all of these images and dreams that I received from, being really, like really in the depths of the ocean, trying to hold my breath enough for these big waves to crash on the surface, right? Just waiting for them to pass. And this is what I'm seeing for you, Libra. Perhaps you're going through this really tough moment where you don't have any other option other than staring this devil in the eyes, right? To confront it, to surpass it, to overcome it. And I feel like you do have the strength for it. You do have the power, the will, the courage, the desire, the awareness, right? And by doing so, you are bringing your emotions back into balance. But there is this little thing that you are missing, which is letting these bubbles of air, right? It's like you're so underneath the water. It's like you're in this deepest end of the pool, in a sense, right? Or the ocean, where you're feeling the pressure of the water, right? Because this is not your natural habitat, and because you're not releasing these bubbles of air, right? Because you're trying to hold this breath, it's like you are not giving way to your emotions properly, right? And so what I'm seeing here is like, finally, when you switch your perspective, right, with this trick that this one is trying to show you, this is what I'm saying, this is beneficial for you, right? So finally, what I'm seeing ending with this King of Swords, it's like these bubbles of air are finally coming to the surface, right? And so you are in the deepest end, right? You are really deep in this ocean, in this water realm. You are in this unknown, in this really mysterious new habitat, right? Surrounded by water, surrounded by emotions that you wish you had under control, but really, if you just allow them to be released, right? Just as I'm seeing these bubbles of air, coming from the depths of your soul onto the surface, right? To be expressed. I feel like somehow you are going to also come back to you, right? And not feel the pressure of the water. So this is where we end this part of your reading. This video is already too long, but I'm going to pull more cards, and also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended. So if you want to join me there, I'll be happy to see you. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.